So putting these first two phrases together, I'm going to say, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to start there. I'm going to be like this. I'm going to ask the question. Please answer if you can. Right? I'm going to ask the question. Please answer if you can. 1, 2, 3. Then 4 open strums. Okay, and now we're moving on to the third phase, third measure in this sequence. And he's going to be saying, if anyone here can tell me. If anyone can hear, please tell me. If anyone here can tell me. Alright, he's continuing with the same parables in the last two measures. You're going to be playing here. There's going to be also some breaks in here, some pauses in between the notes. But the first 5, there's going to be a series of 8 notes here. And the first 5 will sound like this. You're going to find the open string, 1st fret, 3rd string, then open string, and then 1st fret, 3rd string, and then again. If anyone here can tell me. Right? So the first 5 notes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next 3 notes will be open, 1st fret, and then 3rd fret. If anyone here can tell me. If anyone here can tell me. Again, very straightforward. 8 notes. If anyone here can tell me. If anyone here can tell me. Just what about the solo man? Right? So when he ends at this part, if anyone here can tell me, he plays kind of like 2 open strums after that, and he jumps right into this outroduction, right to the capping off of this break, which is going to be a little bit difficult. So again, that's pretty straightforward, nothing to recap there, but I'll play it from the beginning of this measure. So I'm going to go back to the lyrics. I'm going to ask the question. It'll be like this. I'm going to ask the question. Please answer if you can. Is anybody here to please tell me? Just what about the solo man? Alright, and then we're going to be going over this part here. Just what is the soul of a man? Just what about the solo man? Just what about the solo man? Right? And this is also drawing a lot of similarities to what was discussed in John the Revelator. It's this incorporation now, it's this introduction of the 1st and 2nd strings that were not very common, not heavily utilized throughout both songs. But in John the Revelator it goes, John the Revelator is something similar. It's Mother of Zion, hand of our God, He redeemeth the light, He redeem us in the burn our blood. Right? It's somewhere along the same scope. But in this part, just what is the soul of a man? He will say, just what about the soul of a man? Just what about the soul of a man? What about the soul of a man? Right? So what he's going to do is he's going to find, you're going to be playing here a combination of 8 notes, right? The first one is going to be this opening one. It's going to be open string, bottom string. Then you're going to find the second string, third fret. Again, second string. This is different. Then you're going to play the second string open. Then you're going to play the third string open. Then first fret, third string, open, third string, first fret, third string, and then open, third string, and end on the fourth string. Because there's 8 notes, it'll be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. You end on that fourth string. What about the soul of a man? Just what about the soul of a man? Right? So that's a little bit difficult combining the lyrics with the notes, but it'll be just what about the soul of a man? Right? So altogether, bridging those last 2 measures together, it'll be like this. If anybody here can tell me just what about the soul of a man? Right? If anyone here can tell me just what about the soul of a man? So when you're playing those open strums, just what about the soul of a man? And again, it's about placement, lyrics over what is being strummed, right? Fairly simple, easy. So once he plays those 8 notes, what about the soul of a man? Right? And the minute he finishes this, what about the soul of a man? I want somebody to tell me. He goes immediately back to that introduction, back to that verse where he says, won't somebody tell me? He goes right back into that. And that cutoff time is very sharp, it's very quick. Immediately after he finished this, what about the soul of a man? Now baby, won't somebody tell me? When he finishes off that, now I want somebody to tell me. And then you continue back to coda. You go back to the beginning of the song and you play out the other portions, you know, of the lyrics. So the lyrics are out there on the internet, available for you. But again, that basically is the rest of Soul of a Man. That is, in a nutshell, altogether. So what you're literally looking at is 3 parts. The introduction, which is very easy. The main riff, which incorporates the 8th and 6th frets into this component. And then the verse, okay, which is incorporating this pull off and this, right? And those are basically the more complicated components of the song. There's 3 parts, you put them together and you have a beautiful song. And again, it's drawing a lot of comparisons to John the Revelator. So if you've watched John the Revelator, which is a necessary necessary component of this 2-part DVD series, you'll be able to grasp this song a lot easier. And this is the more difficult of the 2 songs. But I figured that I would start this DVD lesson plan with starting with John the Revelator because it's so basic and simple, and it's a good introductionary component to this style of Blind Willie Johnson's repertoire. Now, Blind Willie Johnson was known predominantly as a phenomenal slide guitarist, but these are 2 songs that stand out from his repertoire. They're very popular in the media. These are 2 songs that are not only popular with blues aficionados, but are people who are interested in music in general. And though they may sound a little bit difficult, they're very simple and primitive kind of styles of music. And that's why I wanted to break down this music, because there is not much material out there for us to take and learn from. And this was a song that I myself could not really crack and understand until it just came to me and said, oh yeah, this is very simple what he's doing. So again, you're in the open D tuning, and you're emphasizing, of course, always on the third string. The third string is where all the action is going to be happening, and when you play that third string, you wanna play the fourth string and maybe even the second string all together. All together. And Blind Willie Johnson likes to play this revving up. You can hear it in the original LP. My emphasis in playing out these, this is more of my interpretation of the music. My method of playing out these individual strings with the index finger and playing the double stops, this is just more of a personal preference. But again, it's probably not what Blind Willie Johnson is doing, but I'm using it in the mere purpose to emphasize the vocal accompaniment to the strings being played. And that's why I feel like it's a more dynamic component in the approach of playing this song. But again, it's up to you if you want to utilize this picking the strings or just playing the downstrokes. Blind Willie Johnson is tipping the scales more towards playing these chords, these up and down chords. And again, it's like he's revving up a motor when he's really getting in the groove into this strumming of the chords. So again, we've discussed all of the necessary intricacies and the particularities of both songs, with an emphasis always on the first and third fret. In Soul of a Man, we ventured out of the first and third frets and we looked at the 8th and 6th fret with a brief appearance of the 5th fret. But again, he's drawing a lot of the same parallels with John the Revelator. But again, these are some cool pieces, two phenomenal pieces of Blind Willie Johnson's work. And if you were to play along with the original LP to match the tonality of Blind Willie Johnson, you would need a capo to be put on the 2nd fret. If not, you can tune up your guitar to, basically, you would have to tune your guitar with the machine head to E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E, with the strings going down. But again, it's unnecessary to create so much tension with the machine heads in the neck. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cap off this 2-part DVD lesson. I'm gonna play this song from front to finish. First, it's gonna be very slow, and then I'm gonna play it at regular pace. And I'm gonna wrap up this lesson. So here we go. Soul of a Man, starting from the beginning. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, I want somebody to tell me, answer if you can. Well, I want somebody to tell me just what about the soul of a man. I've come to ask the question, please answer if you can. Does anybody here to please tell me just what about the soul of a man? I really want somebody to tell me. Alright, now I'm going to go pretty slow. Ready? Going slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Question soul of man. Now maybe want somebody to tell me, and if you can, well, I want somebody to tell me just what about the soul of a man. So again, that's a lot of material for you to take and learn. This has been a pleasure finally bringing this out into a major DVD lesson. You know what I mean? I feel this is a great and timeless piece that's popular with everybody, and I'm finding that there's no material out there in the cyber world. That's why I wanted to create this and give it to you, for you to experience that joy in playing Blind Willie Johnson's music. He's an absolute, phenomenal blues musician, and I hope you have a lot of fun with this. And again, everything you need to take and learn from this is in the video. Rewind, and the tablature is pretty accurate to what I've been discussing. Most of the things that I've been teaching here are based off the tablature, and yeah, very straightforward. And my name is Delta Lou, and I will be signing off. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you.